Hello, is this Necessary Gambling here with a new stream? In this stream, I'm going to be going over the event week for this week. That started on like very early Thursday and Grand Theft Auto Online. But yeah, streaming this one on like very early Monday. Probably will be uploaded by like late Monday and stuff. And that's because it's just a generic event week. Pretty generic, boring event week, so I didn't really feel like doing this on my typical Sunday that I stream on. But yeah, I would say definitely the main highlight this time around for the like event week here would definitely go to 1.5 times money in RP on these Acid Lab sell missions, 1.5 times on the brand new business with the latest Santos Drug Wars DLC. This business is actually apparently one of the better ones when it comes to like the sales, at least. They're very solo friendly, so it's very good for solo play. So yeah, as you can see in the image there, your like stable vehicle is like a motorcycle that man just can't see, obviously. Now you get with the Brick 676. So definitely a very good time, probably to be grinding some money here. Now I think they did do something with the Acid Lab previously, and I think it was better off of like 2 times money in RP, but this time seems to be 1.5 times. And if I recall correctly from what I watched on like certain like videos of like content on YouTube and stuff, I think the normal amount is like 500,000-ish or something with like all the upgrades and whatnot that you can do. So I think with like all the different upgrades and stuff you can do, I think you would probably make like 700 to like 800 like $1,000 or something. That might be with the high demand sale as well, by the way, if you're doing it in like a public lobby with like 25 to like 30 players for that like maximum payout for the like 2% extra per player. As of the Chrono Enterprise, they increased that like high demand bonus from like 1% to 2%. So I think like the best you can probably make would be like 700 to 800,000 as far as I know per sale. And given you're on like a motorcycle and stuff, sales are pretty easy in a sense. Again, very solo friendly, so that kind of money is pretty alright, I would say, given it's a solo friendly business. And you can literally do it passively, you can literally do other things while it produces, similar to your biker businesses and your like bunker and whatnot. Definitely take good advantage of that if you want. It's probably gonna be the best thing on money opportunity right now. And yeah. And that's also why I chose this title if I haven't mentioned it today, because I think it's definitely the best thing you should probably be doing for the event. And then there's 2 times money in RP on Hasta La Vista, what I think is like a Terminator kind of like adversary mode or something. I think it's like a Terminator reference of like those semi trucks and like the bicycles and whatnot. And yeah, I think it's like the Hasta La Vista, like the Terminator, like told you kind of thing, whatever. I think that's like a scene in Terminator as well there, so pretty cool. But yeah, Hasta La Vista was actually one of the like first couple adversary modes that was ever released, like back during like the Heist DLC. Batman was one of the very first adversary modes released back during like Heist DLC. Such an old adversary mode that I was even on the such an old adversary mode it was even on like the old like 7th generation versions of the online back on the PlayStation 3 and like the Xbox 360. That's how old it is. But yeah, I don't know. I feel it's a very quick adversary mode, given that like you have like one team in trucks and then you're on bicycles. They basically just like knock you off of them, as far as I know. I feel it's a very hard mode for the bicyclists to do all that much, to be honest. The map I probably played the most recent was probably like the Storm Drain one or something. I think I haven't played on like actual 360. where like bought like a week, or I didn't like buy a week. I earned it for like Microsoft Rewards or something. I played it like before shutdown or something, I think. And yeah, I remember it being quite a bit. So it's definitely nowhere near the most balanced adversary mode, definitely not. So if you want to play balanced adversary mode, I don't really feel that's the kind of player. And a lot of different like money things you can do in the pause menu are not that great, and that includes hostile vista even on 2 times. Depending on like the amount of rounds and stuff on these adversary modes traditionally, like the most you would probably make would be like a couple $100,000, and that's if you win like all the rounds and like yeah, that's like if you win all the rounds essentially with your team and everything, which relies on like luck and stuff. So yeah, it's not a very serious moneymaker whatsoever. I don't necessarily even think this is a limited time adversary mode either. A lot of the adversary modes they like fall out of the game and then they put them back for like a month and then they like vault them again. That's something they've kind of been doing since like the Tuners DLC. But I don't think it's a limited time adversary mode at all. I don't think it's one they vault. I think it's like one of the more like permanent adversary modes in the game right now. So there's not really much of like an exclusivity kind of reason to play it as far as I know either. That's even a less incentive to do it. Yeah, for so fucking goddamn it, but yeah. And then yeah, your premium test ride on the 9th gen version only here will be your Ubermax Sentinel XS Coupe. I'm very certain it is the only coupe that has an HSW upgrade, so because it's the only coupe with a HSW upgrade, I do feel it's very much worth purchasing. The most HSW vehicles the class has, I think, is 4 with the supercar class with the new Entity MT with the Drug War DLC. So since there's only 4 at most in the class, I feel really any HSW vehicle can be somewhat useful in a sense. Especially the one here in Coupe, since there's only the one that's even able to be HSW in that class. You might as well get it if you want it. But yeah. For Coupe, no doubt, I remember it being like the #1 like top speed for Coupe class, because it's HSW has crazy top speeds and stuff. But if I recall correctly, actually, the like Previan, the Karen Previan from the Tuners update actually has a slightly better lap time or something at least. So even though it's HSW, it doesn't necessarily have the best lap time. Your best lap time might still go to the Previan if I recall correctly. But yeah, definitely would not skip out on that one if you've yet to get it. Okay. Little notification tell me unlock that like pump shotgun tin. Okay. Will be available for 17th. Is it any ammunition, armory, or weapon workshop equipment? Shotgun tin. And yeah. Ammunition, that must mean it is indeed for the Mark 1 shotgun, like I was expecting. What's even the point of having a Mark 1 shotgun livery, to be honest, given that there's the Mark 2 shotgun that most people probably have over the Mark 1? Like, honestly, it's quite a waste of a gun to put a livery on when there's a Mark 2 version. Like, put on the Mark 2, not the fucking Mark 1, but okay. So I'll probably not be using it, to be honest. Okay, that will be out of the 417 fear for that Capco River collar shirt that I covered on like the league video, whatever. I know that's all old stuff, but I kind of want to give some thoughts on it since last time when I talked about them, there wasn't really any like images to go over on like the what's new section here. So we gotta talk a little more about them here, since there's more of like a demonstration of it this time around. Subscription stuff, nothing new there, obviously, some of that. And yeah, there's stuff of resupply missions as well. I don't think the what's new section. I don't think the main menu had that, but the what's new section does, obviously. But yeah, if you do the resupply missions, apparently this week you get double the supplies. But yeah, there's honestly not really apparently much like. Apparently, it's not that useful to do the resupply missions as you would expect with any other passive business as well. Just like your other passive businesses, it's actually better to buy the supplies because again, you can make money in other ways while your business produces. Spending time filling up your business that you could otherwise be doing this make even more money while this makes money passively, and that's just not a very viable strategy. Like sure, there's extra incentive now for this 1 week here with double supplies. But you're just wasting your time pretty much if you do that. So I just focus on the sales, the resupply thing's kind of not worth it. And yeah, don't think anything new is going on here. The only difference I think is you won't get 2 times money on it anymore. I think 2 times money was just for the last event. I think the last event had a 2 times money, but I don't think they're doing that this week. So you're probably back to your like standard like fare and like tip payouts and stuff. So like double on it. Even with double, it wasn't really all that much more. Honestly, for the money, it's not really all that worth it. Only really do it, in my opinion, if you want like the bonus money that they're providing. They're giving a little bit of like $100,000 and stuff like that, and that all could be kind of worth it, I guess. But otherwise, it's mainly just whether you want the clothing or not. Some of it's like nitrogen only as well for some reason. And yeah, this is the final week here for your hard mode event for the first dose. So any of those like 4 vehicle liveries and that one like pump shotgun livery thing, that's your last week to get those. I went over like strategies and stuff for like the different challenges and stuff. I think like when they first did the hard mode event, so I'm not gonna like give any advice on those here though. Little hint though, the 4th mission, honestly, I would say is the best for most of that stuff though. If you need to complete like a mission in a certain time and without like dying, I feel the 4th mission is kind of the easiest for a couple of those. Besides that, I'm not really gonna mention much more there. Okay, and there's that again. And then it looks like the rest is just a bunch of old stuff here. Yeah, definitely. So we have to go in the game for the rest of it and so I won't go into much detail under what's new section anymore for some reason. And yeah, nothing obviously going on there. Sure, nothing's going on in series mode here. Yeah, that's not looking like anything's really going on in these series modes there. So now I'll be going to the online itself here. I'll talk about the rest of the event stuff, like the podium, vehicle, like prize ride, all that kind of stuff. 10 days left. Oh wow, I'm so tempted to get the subscription now, Rockstar. Totally kidding though. So maybe not like next event, but the event after, I imagine they changed then for the subscription stuff then for mention only, of course. And yeah, again, you can no longer get that Weenie Izzy Rally. They did vault that in the game as they made clear in the Rockstar Newswire. So if you missed out on the Izzy Rally, it's probably gonna be a while until you can get it again. But if you didn't get on it in time, so that's probably your fault, I would say. But it's still scummy from Rockstar to do that kind of thing, like they did with the NS300R as well. That one that could be turned into like a money tech and shit for like the day one of the drug war update. Like seriously, are you gonna re-repeat them later on? Like what the fuck? No, like why? No. Just really trying to artificial inflate the like length of this repeat, I feel. But yeah. Anyways, starting off with some of these time trials like I usually do. Regular time trial here, Raccoon Canyon. Seems that goes all the way over to Raccoon Canyon Rapids somewhere, so maybe like over here or something. Kind of all, something like that. It seems like it's going to go very off-roady and stuff, so I probably wouldn't go like a supercar much per se. I definitely probably wouldn't go like a supercar much of any other car in that case. I think you're going to definitely want that bike, because like off-roady areas like that, if you see like how often some of these like roads and shit are, I don't really feel like you're going to be able to take advantage of it all that much. Like, yeah, sure, if you're in a car, you're not gonna fall off and stuff, but I'd much rather be on a motorcycle and just as long as you're careful, I feel a motorcycle's definitely much better off. So, yeah. For motorcycle recommendations, on 9th generation, you definitely want the HSW Hardtail Drag. That's definitely your easiest, best one, I would say, for 9th gen. The HSW one there, obviously, for Hardtail Drag. And then for 8th gen, that new Power Surge from the Drug War DLC, that's like the second place in lap time I could have sworn, like only behind HSW Drag, so on 8th gen that would actually be your number 1 lap time. And then yes, an electric motorcycle, so you should have like good acceleration, so if you were to stop, you should be able to get back up to speed pretty quick. And then yeah, top speed even for like an electric motorcycle. Top speeds for electric vehicles don't tend to be that great, but I think that one's still like a 7th place, like top speed, even though it's like electric, so it's still pretty solid. So I think the Power Surge is definitely quite nice for 8th gen. Something as cheap as like the Body 801, which is like a $15,000 motorcycle from day one of the game, could even be pretty good still for like these regular time trials, because a lot of them were released around like the Heist DLC, which is like 2015. So It's not very high, like, speed standards per se on these time trials. You can even use something as, like, cheap as, like, the Body Beetle 1 and be pretty successful with that. You know, if, like, upgrades stuff, that'd probably be, like, at most, like, a $500,000 motorcycle. And, yeah. Regular Huckshot Drag can be pretty alright, and then, like, the Noxaki Shotaro can be pretty good for time trials. And then, yeah, trying to think of what else. The Western Reaver, whatever, from like the Contract DLC, which I think is actually the #1 top speed motorcycle, even on like the 910. Even a little bit ahead of your HSW drag, I think, for top speed, funnily enough. That can be a very solid one in terms of top speed. So, yeah, that's like around this area, and good luck really doing with straights, I feel. So you're probably going to want more of a lap time one, to be honest. For another top speed one that's also kind of an off-roady one for sure, would probably go to like my boxy Manchester Scout, and the regular Manchester Scout are like kind of pretty good. That's a bunch of different possible motorcycle options for 8th gen, where it's a lot more confusing. Oh, and yeah, for Power Surge, something I kind of forgot to mention. I think I meant to mention the last, like, event. But yeah, the Power Surge sounds very new for those that want to know, like, what you should do, like, lean forward or backward with the stick. Apparently the Power Surge is actually like the Shotaro, to where it doesn't actually, like, really matter if you're doing forward or backwards with the stick, as far as I understand from what I watched from Ruffy 132. So apparently the Power Surge is like your Shotaro, where you can do forward or backward with the stick, and you get pretty much the same benefit. So that would be a nice one to go forward, like, as if you're doing a stop piece, and like your Hacktail Drag and Nightblade, and again, the Shotaro, because of that one, again, it doesn't matter as well. But yeah, 95% motorcycles you typically do backward on the stick for that best possible speed. So that's motorcycle stuff. I'm not gonna really go over supercar on those. RC Bandito time trial to start around goes to Construction Site 1. That's the very first RC Bandito time trial of the series of 10. So being the first one, I imagine it's kind of the easiest one. So if you're not a fan of difficulty, but you want to do an RC Bandito time trial at all, this might be kind of the one to do in a sense. But yeah, you can only use the one vehicle RC Banditos. I don't really, like, I'm not really a big fan of doing the RC Bandito time trial since I only use one vehicle. So pretty much the strategy is just knowing how to, like, corner everywhere and whatnot. It's kind of just best to do it on your own hand. I probably wouldn't really hurt to guide per se. I don't know, maybe that could be good as well. HSW time trial just come around. That would be Terminal. I want to say Terminal. I want to say Terminal is the one that, like, goes over, like, here or something like that. I think it, like, goes over. I'm trying to think where in this area. I think it goes, like, over here or something like that, if I recall. If I recall correctly, the GPS route that they actually provide isn't really the greatest. Because there's, like, a yellow Corona, and if you were to do, like, the GPS route on the yellow Corona, I don't think it's actually the most reliable GPS route. I think my strategy is you typically want to, like, mark over here instead of, like, on the GPS route, which I think is, like, over here. So you just want to go a little away from the GPS route, and actually gives you, like, a much better route for that HSW time trial, as far as I recall. And And again, your best option pretty much for that would be your HSW Hawktail drag, as long as you are careful and you do not hit anything your drag is no. That one's going to be your best HSW option. Otherwise, I would say the HSW Supercars, or I would say any of the two, like Criminal Enterprise, like DLC HSW vehicles, because those are like your best couple in the entire game in terms of like general top speed. Between HSW and regular vehicles, I think your Sterling GT and your Vajero ZX HSWs from the Criminal Enterprise are some of your better top speed options, which HSW stuff tends to be best for top speed, especially one like that, where you want to go on the highway, as I was mentioning, with like the GPS route discrepancy there, whatever all word I'm trying to say there. But I think because there's that method where you go on the highway, I think top speed is definitely going to be a huge focus on that one. Because other ones may actually have a lot more lap time focus, but yeah, that one with the like strategy you provide definitely good for top speed. I'll probably do a run with the MT later on, because that's the one I'm currently using on these HSW town trials I'm doing on stream and whatnot. And yeah, Premium race this round goes to the muscle car class. So yeah, muscle car class, I'll go over some battle. Make sure I don't hit anything here again. But yeah. Unfortunately, as in the last couple of DLCs, they don't let you see the exact track on the pause menu they used to, but for some reason they took that away. So if you want to see the track so bad, just go into like the race. And I think when you go into the lobby, they give you the option to look at the map, so you can get an idea if there's a lot of straights or like corners and stuff. So I'd probably do that for sure, especially for a premium race. But yeah, for muscle car on 9th gen, it's kind of pretty easy again because there's HSW. I already mentioned one of them kind of because one of those like two Chrono Enterprise vehicles that are pretty good for top speed for those two HSW Chrono Enterprise vehicles. One of your HSW muscle cars is the Arbiter GT. Your Arbiter GT in some sense could kind of be one of your better options. Apparently between like the initial batch of like HSW vehicles, I think the Arbiter GT was like the most disappointing one. So even though it is HSW, there is some disappointment apparently when it comes to the Arbiter GT. Even something like the Buffalo STX and maybe even your like Weevil Custom can, in some sense, can be kind of better than your Arbiter GT in some sense for like maybe lap time. I think it is, because obviously HSW is a top speed focus kind of. But yeah, pretty much on 9th gen, I would say pretty much your best option would go to the Vajero ZX HSW. That one's definitely very damn good, because this one, it's pretty much actually your #1 top speed in the entire game still. Because you got Sterling GT between the Chrono Enterprise DLC vehicles for HSW channel first, and then it was the Vajero ZX one that got the HSW upgrade for like an event week and whatnot. So yeah, pretty much your Vajero ZX is #1 top speed of the entire game, so that's easily probably your best option, and I think it's also got some pretty solid lap time. And I think it's also got some pretty solid lap time. Again, that's all gonna be for 9th gen only. For 8th gen, again, I kind of mentioned the Buffalo STX. That one's kind of like a sport car, but for the muscle car class, which is pretty cool. It's like a sporty Buffalo. And that's the one with like the Money Tech and stuff like that for like free mode purposes. Weevil Customs got pretty insane top speed, and that's even available on the 8th gen version. So if it's it's a very top speed heavy one, that would be a very good focus. Have a look on Bruffy 152 spreadsheet, maybe give some more options as well. So I'm not the most familiar with muscle car class for some other ones. Oh yeah. Alright. For Agent, it does mainly look like your Buffalo STX and then your Weevil Custom. So apparently those are your two best options for Agent, basically the STX and the Weevil Custom. Right under this for Laptop apparently goes like the Dominator ASP for like the tuners update. Apparently that's like a 12th place I think on top speed. So I'd probably mainly focus on STX and the Weevil for sure on Agent. For the Weevil Custom, honestly, I mean. So a couple good options for both 9gen and 8gen, pretty much there, really.
A new luxury car is available to win. Stop by and have a try at the Lucky Wheel.
But yeah.
Okay, time for another dare.
Your podium vehicle this time around, I will go to the Grotti Stinger GT or something like that, if I recall, from the Rockstar Newswire. Very interesting choice this time around. It's literally a vehicle from like day one of the online. It's not even a vehicle in story mode at all. I don't think it's like from day one of online from like October 1st, 2013. It literally existed from like October 1st, 2013. It's not even in story mode, I think, even.
Your chips. See you again soon.
That'll be my one like wheel spin of the week. I might actually already have one of these, I forget. I might have a couple stingers for one of my like garage beams I have or something. Oh, what the hell? How'd I do a weak spin there? What the fuck? Oh yeah, I didn't know. Okay. Ooh, okay, I'll take the cash now. Weak spin, so that was a fucking weak grandpa spin there, but 30,000, yeah. And yeah, this one's a sport classic, I believe. The classing and stuff is pretty interesting. I wish I would have used the mouse and like, scroll down pretty fast though with it, but whatever. No. I think it's this one here. Not the regular Stinger, not to be confused with that one, but yeah. The Stinger GT apparently here. So by getting this vehicle, you'll be saving pretty much $875,000. And yeah, again, it's a vehicle from like day one of the game, so pretty much confirmed does not have a livery on it, so that's pretty much the exact price you'll save on it. I'll make sure on the Newswire this is the right model here, I'm pretty certain that was it. Yes, the Karate Stinger GP. Very interesting choice. They actually say it's in the sports class. I think it's in Sport Classic now. Alright, yeah. I think it says Sport Class on the Newswire, but it's actually Sport Classic. Sports Classic. So, yeah. But yeah, according to Bruffy 152 spreadsheet, Stinger GT, as you would expect for older vehicles, not going to perform that good, it looks like. looks to be in the E tier, almost at the bottom of E tier, only like right above the Stinger for E tier, apparently, for the regular one. But yeah, Stinger TT apparently is at 26th place lap time, and then apparently 22nd place top speed. And there's apparently 46 Sport Classic vehicles in the game, at least, at this point. So, yeah. I'm trying to think if it's even, like, above average anywhere. It's barely above average for top speed if you're looking, like, purely in the upper half. It is a little bit in the upper half for top speed, but still nowhere near the top 10 for lap time top speeds. If you're getting it purely for performance, if you want it purely for performance, I wouldn't go for that. And then, yeah, now I'll go over to the test, the car meet for, like, the test track, and the prize ride. I was about to say premium test ride, but that was actually on the main menu already now. Because, yeah, it's just purely an event week, so I guess they put it on the, like, main menu, because there wasn't much to even talk about, really. Starting off here with a test track here for the free vehicles this time around is your Sentinel Classic, Yossi Monroe, and then your Lampadati Tropos Rally. Sentinel Classic, I think this was one from like the Doomsday Heist in terms of like the Doomsday Heist DLC. I think it was from like late 2017, like maybe early like 2018 or so at most. Very interesting one there, especially as a Colonel Enterprise, where I think you can even turn it over into Benny's vehicle. Yossi Monroe, that's a vehicle from day one of the game, so you can actually get into the story mode of the game. But yes, the story mode actually has the Monroe, so it's quite the waste there, kind of. And then I think this is your one on discount. I think all the other two are full price here, but your Tropos Rally apparently is on discount. But yeah. Just going off of pure memory, I believe the Sentinel Classic got expanded with the Sentinel Classic wide body from Colonel Enterprises. Pretty sure that's the case. Yeah. So they expanded on the Sentinel Classic with the Colonel Enterprise DLC, where you can actually get a Sentinel Classic wide body, where you might get slightly better performance, but it's not going to probably be anything all that crazy. But if you want a very super customizable vehicle, then it could be something to consider. And that's your normal price, as like I showed, it wasn't on a discount or anything. Monroe for 90,000. Very cheap one here, but yeah, again, that is your normal price. And again, it's literally in story mode, so I would probably pass on it just because of that, to be honest. I'm not going to go into too much detail on those. But Tropos Rally here should be on a discount. believe it's a 30% off on this one. And that will be like another Sport Classic, I believe, similar to the Stinger from earlier. Except actually, I think this one actually is a Sport Car, not a Sport Classic. And yeah, given the name Rally, it is kind of one of your like rally sport cars. Has the name like Rally at the end there, so it's kind of a rally sport car, and those don't really tend to be the greatest per se. It's more for your like traditional sport cars that tend to be better, I would imagine. That's probably an indicator of the performance there in a sense. Alright, yeah, Tropos Rally is 30% off in the sport class indeed, according to the Newswire. And yeah, according to Bruffy 1322's spreadsheet, Tropos Rallies is an F tier for vehicle. F tier is obviously like very bad. And apparently that makes it a 68th place on lap time at best, and then at best a 45th place top speed. And there's probably like 90 to 100 sport cars in the game now, so technically the top speed is like above average, but it's still again nowhere near your like top 10. But yeah, you're getting a very abysmal performance on this one for sure. So I'd only get it for like personal preference reasons if you like really like the looks or like customization, if you watch like a customization video or something. And yeah, your prize ride this time around, a very interesting one. Did the Class A Lifeguard. I'll talk a bit about this one because it's actually a very poor choice of a prize ride, apparently. First of all, for those interested in where you can get it, it's apparently on the Warstock website. I think it was started with like Damasceno Heist or something. And that's when they added the lifeguard videos. It was the Heist one, yeah. Damasceno Heist, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's one where you have to actually store it in your garage. But yes, it's not a Pegasus. You store it in your actual garage, apparently. So you will need to dedicate garage space to that, because, yeah. I figured since it is a prize ride after all. But yeah, prize ride challenge. Apparently that's placed top 5 for 3 days in a row for the LS Car Meet Series. But yeah, top 5 LS Car Meet Series race. That's actually very lenient. Just the only annoying part is that 3 days in a row. But even with me doing the stream on like Monday, you can even still go for it. Even if you do it like Tuesday, you could probably like maybe squeeze one in on like very like early Thursday before the event week changes. So yeah, got a couple of days left to start that one. Oh, whoops. I called my personal. Whoops, I did not mean to. Apparently I didn't. It actually got me some reputation. Like, actually, like, right next to 203 now. Might have to start doing that, actually. Might have to start doing that, actually, for that little bit more reputation each time. But yeah, for context, for those that might forget for any reason, in terms of the pods menu, your options are street race and pursuit race. You might even be able to do like the sprint races in like free mode. I think you can do like sprint races in the actual like car meet in free mode. That's another option as far as I know. that would be another easy option, technically. Assuming that one counts at all. But yeah. Pursuit race, you could even do a like 4 and 5 player pursuit race and pretty much be guaranteed into that challenge. But yeah, most times pursuit races aren't really the most ideal, I feel, for these challenges, but because it's like 5 players, you can do like very small pursuit races and still be fun. But yeah, obviously the recommendation for the Cosmony ones definitely obviously the street races with the 2-player requirement. You could have a pretty fun street race if even a few other players and still be pretty much guaranteed a spot. Okay, I got the free because I accidentally called my personal apparently. Waiting it, sneakers. Okay, I'll be getting that then. Yeah, 20,000 there for the 203 there. But yeah, when going back on the press account, apparently I accidentally did the personal thing that got me to free to say, oh, gladly take it. But yeah, the Class A Lifeguard, I assume that's obviously an SUV class there or something, because I think that's what the Gringer is, I believe it's just similar. But yeah, I'm not seeing Lifeguard on the like spreadsheets. It must be the same performance as the day 1 Gringer, because it's basically a race against the Gringer from day 1 of the game. And for SUV, that's an F tier apparently for Gringer, and that is 22nd place off time and then 25th place top speed. Both of those are actually below average for the class as well, besides for being very far from the top 10 already. So yeah, the only real reason to get it is for like role-playing purposes and like other like personal preference kind of reasons really. But yeah, if you get it, you save $865,000. But there's actually an easier way to get it as well, apparently. Apparently, you can just steal one from the beach, apparently, and you can, like, put, like, a tracker on it or something, and I think you can literally make it into a personal vehicle. Like, yes, apparently there's that, like, too hot to modify thing over, like, $100,000 or something, but I don't think the game has, like, a check for it on this vehicle or something, so I think you can kind of, like, bypass that, and you can just do, like, a tracker on it and stuff like that, and you can get it as a personal that way for, like, the actual free mode of the game. According to Bruffy1322 on Twitter, I totally saw something where he said that you can literally just steal it off the beach. I assume you can also turn it into personal like that. I think you can do something similar to, like, the Bugstar burrito, I think, if you know, like, where that spawns from, like, story mode or something, you can actually get one. And you can actually get one without having to, like, straight up buy one from, like, the website, apparently, is something you can do. So apparently there's some super cheap way of getting it, as far as I know, so yeah. Honestly, the challenge isn't necessarily too worth it for that reason alone, if it already didn't seem worth it enough. The premium one was on the main menu, so I don't need to talk about that again. And then, yeah, now over to luxury autos. Luxury autos apparently actually does not have a discount though, so keep that in mind. But there's 2 vehicles there, so nevertheless I'm going to be going over them. As you would expect, that's your usual amount there. Probably won't go too much details in them, I'm going to just show them off, maybe mention like a thing or two if I remember much with them. But yeah, looks like the Invetero Coquit D10, and then your Grotti Turismo R. Okay, there might be a couple interesting things mentioned for each, or one thing. First of all, this Coquit D10, I think, is actually maybe a pretty good option for the top speed for the sport class. Yeah, if I recall something from this, it might be a pretty good top speed option for sport class. But yeah, not gonna go out my way to verify that though, since it's not apparently on a discount anyways. But I think this might even still in 2022, 2023 might still be a pretty decent top speed though. For sport class, and yeah. Turismo R for super class. I don't really think this one has good performance anymore, but it did get added delivery support, as you can see here, as of the Colonel Enterprise DLC. So they actually added more like customizations and like delivery support and stuff for the Turismo R when they released the Criminal Enterprise. But yeah, you can actually get the Turismo R in the story mode though, so you can actually do those customizations in the story mode as well. As far as I remember, any of the like Criminal Enterprise modifications for like the story mode vehicles can also be done in story mode as well. I totally remember that being the case. So you can literally get the exact look and everything you want there anyways. Since yeah, that was one of those DLC vehicles back from like High Life update. That was like a 2014 DLC vehicle back when those vehicles even went into story mode. Before like pretty much everything was online only for the vehicle side of things. Ever since like Old Bathroom Games Part 2 pretty much. So if there is one that's absolutely worth getting at all, it would probably go to the Coquit D10 since that's online only, whereas that one you can also get in story mode. But yeah, I would have a look at the performance somewhere for like exact numbers and stuff before you get it, make sure it's even good. Unless you're getting it for some sort of personal preference reason. But if I do recall right, it is actually pretty solid for top speed still. If I remember right, I'm just going off of memory that it's just not worth checking out when it's not in discount. Yeah. Newswire just says Coquit D10 Sport and then Turismo R Super with no like percent off by them. And yeah, they're not listed under the discount section either. And yeah, now to Simeon's here. I thought I was about to slam down there somehow. Shit. I was just sending so hard there. But your Simeon vehicles just around for the Premium Deluxe Motorsport. That will be the Karen Everon. Outside Penetrator. Galvant Herb Baller ST. Bada Yuga Classic. And then you're the Class A Tulip. I think the Everon was like from one of those like Damasceno updates. It was either from Resort or Heist. I think it might be from Heist for like Damasceno Heist or something. Penetrator, that one was like back from Old Gotham Games, if I recall right, or like Finance Felony, or like Executive for Criminal. One of those free, I could swear. Probably Old Gotham Game, I assume. If not, probably Finance Felony. Baller ST. This is from the Contract DLC. I totally recall that. Yuga Classic. Trying to remember if this is from like the gun running DLC or not. I think it might have been from gun running. If it wasn't that updated, I don't remember which one per se now. And Philip, I think, might have been like an Arena War one or something. If anyone wanted to know like what DLCs they were from, at least my guesses, at least if I recall right, I think they should be right. But yeah. Karen Everon, the Penetrator, Baller SD. Those three are not on discount at all. If you want discounts, just go over to the Tulip and then the Yuga Classic. Those are the main two I'll go over. Might mention like a little thing or two for other ones though. Might mention a thing or two for like non-discount ones though. But yeah, the Karen Everon here. Fun fact about it, there's apparently an upcoming Drifty vehicle that would take inspiration from the Karen Everon here. I think it's like the Hot Ring Everon. But yeah, apparently this will be getting a Hot Ring version in this DLC later on, if I recall. Fun fact for that. Nothing really to do with the actual vehicle here itself. I don't think this one's really the greatest option for off-road, if I recall. There's definitely better options for both laps and top speed, if I recall right. Definitely. I forget if it's still in top 10 or anything anywhere. It's probably nowhere near your best option. Penetrator, I don't recall much of anything really all that impressive about its performance or anything these days in the game. It's probably not really a good supercar, if I'm recalling right. I think it kind of looks like the Grand Theft Auto 3, like Infernus though, which is kind of cool though. I don't know if it's actually based on that though, or anything though. But it reminds me of the GTA 3, Grand Theft Auto 3 Infernus personally, at least. Now it kind of has that look to me now. Galvin Baller SD. And this one's not on discount. But there was one point where it was a free vehicle. It was actually given as a free vehicle during like the festive times during like 2021, whenever the contract was. I think that was 2021. So yeah, 2020 was kind of pretty good, I could have sworn. So yeah, this was given out like last year for free, like during like Christmas time and stuff. So I probably wouldn't get this one just because of that, to be honest, because anything aside for free is basically a ripoff, kind of, in that sense. And even then, it's not anywhere near your best SUV, I think it can be somewhat competitive in some cases, if I recall. Again, I would probably have to look at those exact performance numbers before even considering it. And yeah, Bravado Yuga Classic. That will be your 50% off discount here, apparently, which makes it $116,880.
Good seeing you.
But the Yuga Classic itself is not really that great per se, but it is a Benny's vehicle actually, so I think that's a good reason to get it now. Alright, yeah. Okay, that one's actually more expensive because it probably has like a livery on it and whatnot, but yeah. It's probably got a livery on it, so that's probably why it's more expensive, but yeah. 50% off here. The customized example here gives you the Yuga Classic 4x4. Yuga Classic 4x4 would probably be like better performance and stuff like that, so if you want a very customizable van, then this can definitely be a very solid 50% off discount here. That assumes you want to turn it over to Benny's, which would probably be regular prices, so keep that in mind. Most definitely is. So if you get it on discount, I want to get it for the actual thing itself. 4x4, definitely, whatever. Has a cool Love Fist delivery on it. There's actually a really cool Love Fist delivery on it, which references Vice City, which is very cool too. That's what I have on my Yuga Classic 4x4, if I recall. Or whatever the, like, custom one's called. For those that want to know the performance, the regular one here, though, for the Yuga Classic, I'll go over that, though. Probably nothing that great, though. But yeah. Yuga Classic 4x4, or not 4x4, but the regular Yuga Classic. Apparently it's in the D tier. It's apparently the one van in the D tier, according to Bruffy 132 spreadsheet. Which apparently makes it at best a 16th place lap time and at best a 15th place top speed. And yeah. It looks like there's like 25 vans in the entire game in a sense. There's like 20, 25 vans in the entire game, so like 15th and like 16th and 15th. That's so terrible now for performances you would expect looking at it. Doesn't look like it would be a good performing vehicle, obviously, but yeah. That's the numbers for people who want those. For the regular one, I'll just say the tier for
Hey, how's it going?
I'll just say tier for 4x4, and that's an A tier. But yeah, if you get the 4x4, it's actually an A tier. I will also say it actually gets within top 10 for lap time. I'm not gonna say exact number it is since it's the classic and not 4x4 on discount. So you can get much better performance on it, kinda though. So if you really want the custom one, then definitely go for it. For the 4x4. Yeah, 30% off price for the fill up here. Apparently for the build over here at least it's about 25,400. But yeah, it does have a livery on it and a very certain build, so if you want a more like standard build with a livery and stuff, you could probably get it for cheaper even. And yeah, Tula, I don't think I recall this one performing all that good. There's a new like tulip from like the drug war DLC, and I think it's like a tulip. It's a tulip M something if I recall. I forget like exactly what it is, but there's been a new tulip with the drug war update. So if there's a new tulip with drug war, then yeah, probably. I imagine that newer ones are better performing ones. So like, that probably tells you know this is not good performance. Tulip would obviously be for the muscle car class. We got tulip here. According to roughly 1322 spreadsheet, it is in the D tier, which makes it at best 19th place in lap time, and at best like 32nd place top speed. Which both performances are actually like above average. There's like 60 to like 70 muscle cars in the game, so apparently the performances are above average for the entire class. But yeah. The tulip itself, though, nowhere near the top 10 for lap time or top speed. It's quite far away from the top 10 at all. So I probably won't bother with it at all from a performance standpoint, though. So the one that can be the absolute most worth getting just because it's on discount, I would say is definitely the Yuga Classic for the Benny's upgrade. I think between the three not on discount, I think the Penetrator is probably the least performance between the three, I imagine. Because you can use a lot of different good things, I think, for off-road and then the SUV class as well, and they're not like the most popular classes per se. But yeah, definitely the one that's most worth is the Yuga Classic. And yeah, that does it for all the showrooms. So I gotta think of like the money opportunities and like other stuff that might need to be mentioned still. Some of it was already on the main menu though, so I won't need to mention those though. I didn't read Newswire by the way right now, so maybe a bit here. But I pretty much mentioned everything about Acid Lab, like how good it is and everything for the money opportunity. So I don't think I need to mention more on the Acid Lab. I think I kind of mentioned plenty. Again, the taxi stuff continues on from like last week, so I don't really mention any more there, I don't think. Don't need to really mention any more about the hard mode event. But yeah. Oh, sorry, I think I got resent this when I was on the game today here. I got on the stream here though, but yeah. That had to do with the hard mode thing, just telling you like what the missions are and whatnot. Pretty sure you still cannot do them in the pause menu. I think you have to actually go to the mission marker by the way, so keep that in mind. So you won't find those in the plasma. You apparently have to go to the marker here. I'm thinking that's because they still have to release the last dose missions. Maybe you unlock the ability to re-put them in the plasma for the completing the last dose missions. Maybe that will get you all 12 available or something for the pause menu or something. I imagine so. But yeah, the vehicle liveries could be quite interesting. I imagine definitely. The weapon skin's kind of waste though, as I mentioned, because it's the Mark 1 and not Mark 2. It sounds like most people probably run the Mark 2, I imagine, for explosive slugs and stuff. So, if you want those vehicle liveries, I'd probably do it. Otherwise, I'd probably maybe not even care that much about it. On this, like, final week for the hard mode event. I'll do HSW town trial in a bit, kind of. Alright, Hostile Vista, I already mentioned on that all. And yeah, Simeon, I'm already there. Luxurious. Podium. All the different, like, car meet stuff. Alright, looks like I'm actually almost done talking about all this stuff. Seems pretty much all the money opportunities are actually on the... All the money opportunities pretty much look like they were already on the, like, main menus. There's not that many money opportunities. Which is fine. You have the asset lab on like 1.5 times. That's pretty much what you should be doing anyways, though. It's not really much point in doing much else, honestly, aside for the asset lab. I'll make extra sure that that's all the money opportunities, though. Alright, yeah, the asset lab 1.5 times at 2 times the pies. There's money you can earn for the taxi stuff that just continues on from last week. And then, yes, there's Hostile Vista, so yeah, that should have been everything even on the main menu. So it doesn't look like any more money opportunities to cover then. Yeah, gun van deals on the precision rifle and armor this week. So I'll go over some gun van deals then. The precision rifle is 50% off apparently. Just don't get this weapon unless you want to collect all the weapons. It's that garbage. But yeah, it's basically just a regular sniper rifle, but it just locks on the characters. But yeah, it's kind of a mix of like the sniper rifle and the marksman rifle. Oh, what the hell? I just pointed at something and I'm getting one level. That's bullshit. I can't just mess around here. That's stupid. When people on the construction site get involved, what the hell? Okay. I could get. But yeah, like I'm saying, it's a mix between like the Mark 1 sniper rifle, like the regular sniper rifle, not the Mark 1 like heavy sniper, but I mean like the regular sniper rifle and then the marksman rifle. In terms of rate of fire, it's obviously like this sniper rifle, so it's not got a good rate of fire at all. Rate of fire is terrible, and it's a lock-on weapon, having terrible rate of fire. Lock-on weapon, not the greatest. Even the marksman rifle Mark II is not the most useful thing either. Like the marksman rifle Mark II with holographic sights. Like yeah, the weapon's pretty powerful and pretty good, but rate of fire is so kind of bad. It's just much more worth using a sniper rifle, an assault rifle in most cases. So I mean, that's good, and it's not really the thing you would want to use most often. So it's basically just a marksman rifle, no good rate of fire at all, because it's like sniper rifle rate of fire kind of stuff, whatever. I think it's pretty much the same damage as the sniper rifle. So at that point, you might as well use the one from day one of the game that has a scope so you can zoom in further. Because the precision rifle doesn't have any attachments. Already has no attachment whatsoever. It doesn't have like, I don't know what attachment would actually be like good for per se. Like shit, maybe if you were able to up it to like 20 rounds, that would be kind of cool. If like an extended clip or something. I don't want to be too powerful given the state of it right now. A grip would have maybe been nice or something. Sure, why the fuck not throw a flashlight on it? At least they could have maybe done a couple things there. If you go off the regular one, you can't suppress it, so you can't only use it for stealth missions. And yeah, why use it over the sniper rifle that has a fucking scope on it, which has much more, which can shoot much further technically. Because you don't have the scope there, you can't shoot that far with this precision rifle.
Yeah, I work with Scott. If by work you mean run ridiculous errands.
So it's just flat out fucking garbage, you know? So unless you want to collect all the weapons, I would not take advantage of 50% off. Yeah, unless you want to like collect all the different weapons in the game, I just would not recommend 50% off the precision rifle unless you're a collector of the weapons of the game. And even then, look at my ammo count right now, 30 and 10. I don't use like almost 10,000 fucking sniper ammo. So basically I'm having all kinds of fucking ammo glitches with my sniper rifle. So if you're like me, you have all kinds of ammo glitches that just randomly fucking happen. Your ammo is pretty much just getting taken away anyways. I guess that's another reason not to use it then. So yeah, that's garbage. 50% off is that's probably the best discount it's had so far, to be honest. So if you've been holding out on it, now might be the time for collecting it. Cause goddamn, it's garbage though. Weapons in general seem to be 10% off at the gun van. I assume it's only the ones at the gun van that are 10% off though. Double for 20% for plus. Throwables will be 15% off, 30% off for plus. Armor 20% off, 40% off for plus. And then yeah, there's an exclusive discount for knife gen only, and that's only on this subscription. And that will be the grenade launcher, 40% off, exclusive for the plus members. Woo. But yeah, seems to be your one like heavy weapon with like a magazine of like 10 and 10. So it's the one you get. It's the one where you get to reload like a lot of grenades at one time. So you don't have to like reload it with every shot, like for RPG and all the reskins pretty much. I assume the compact grenade launcher you pretty much have to reload, and then obviously it's reskin, and then a railgun. It has that advantage of not having to reload as often per se. So that's kinda nice. It's also pretty much the only heavy weapon that has like attachments on it for like your flashlight, grip, and scope, so that's kind of cool, I guess. Besides for that, there's not too much usage for it, I would say, over something like even a straight up RPG. Why use a grenade launcher where you have to like compensate for gravity, where you can just use like an RPG where you just have to like account for where something is purely and you don't have to also compensate for gravity as far as I know? RPG is just pretty much better in almost every single way, pretty much. That actually matters for the most part. Your tryhards pretty much use RPGs as far as I know. I imagine tryhards probably don't really use grenade launcher as much or some shit. Yeah, obviously homing launcher is a lot more useful. Even the minigun's kind of a lot more useful because it's bullet based. You have a lot of ammo that you can use on that one compared to like 20 grenades. Oh yeah. Magazine thing can also be a weakness though, because I think when you die, you actually lose like a magazine. So I think if you die, you actually lose like 10 whole grenades though. So that's kind of bad. It's kind of a good thing, kind of a bad thing. It's kind of like reload and like dying with it. I think. Oh yeah, and unlike the compact ones, you cannot use it on a vehicle pretty much. So you're pretty much limited to using it on the ground. Compact ones, you can at least use in a vehicle. So they're not as it's not as useful there. I don't know, in some ways I feel it can be the worst heavy weapon in a way, like one that you're just not going to use that much. But it does have its like advantages too, like it's the one with attachments at all, and because yeah, you can hold like 10 at once, you're not going to have to reload with like every shot like you do with some other heavy weapons. So sure, there's quite some advantages, but none that are like super practical per se. So yeah, it's your plus only subscription, 40% off discount, and a grenade launcher there. And yeah. Apparently the crowbar is also available at the gun van. I think I've heard the crowbar is available at the gun van, which might be the first time you can actually buy the crowbar. Because I don't think you can actually buy the crowbar ammunition, so you might have a like exclusive melee weapon you can kind of buy at the gun van. I think I heard you can buy the crowbar there, but they don't list like the current inventory for the week for some reason on the newswire. The newswire just like show the discounts. They don't like show like what's currently on offer this week though. But apparently the crowbar is in there, and I don't think you can normally buy that. Which that's probably honestly the most significant thing they did in the event week, maybe making the crowbar available for purchase for the very first time. Besides for that, there's literally no new content in this event. It's just an event week, pretty much. I almost want to find like the location for the gun van and see if it's truly the case. But I don't feel like going on a collector map just to look at a gun van location. Or whatever like other internet way there is to find it. Or of course if you're a plus subscription it's just flipped right on your map, but I ain't buying that shit, fuck that shit. then yeah, aside for that, I think it's like one more discount for like a vehicle, and then I think that's it for the event. We have 30% off the retail price of the MTO Brigade 606, which includes acid lab installation. We had MTO Brigade 606 service. Sounds like it's the new one and not the old one from like finance and felonies. That could be actually a pretty nice discount. And then aside for that vehicle discount and like business discount and stuff, it looks like it's just the ones I mentioned earlier, the Yuka Classic van, the Travis Rally Sport, and then the Tulip Muscle for 50, 30, and 30. So literally it's just like 4 vehicle discounts, and then it's kind of whack. The one kind of doubles down as a property and stuff, on his business and stuff. Let me make sure it's not the regular one now. So if it's the regular one now, then still some usage for that, I guess, but alright, yeah. Wait, was this one always 555,000? What the fuck? Doesn't have a discount indicator on it, no. Doesn't show a discount on my 6x6. Might be because I got it for the mission now. If you don't, maybe you only see a discount if you don't have it or something, I don't know. See, are they named the same thing pretty much? I'm confused. On the website here. I don't know, was this one always fucking 555,000? I'm so confused. This one's just called Brigade. Because yeah, on the newswire it's called 6x6. Yeah, the original one is definitely not called 6x6. So it's gotta be the new one. Which makes sense with the Acid Lab stuff. Being on like 1.5 times and stuff. So yeah. Very good vehicle on sale here, definitely. But yeah. I think the 750,000 is your normal price. For some reason I don't see enough discount. Probably because I got it for the mission, so maybe you only see the discount if you don't have it or something. Maybe it's like the 500-ish, like $1,000 and not like other Brigade I was kind of saying there. I don't know. Maybe even less than that. Sounds like you're gonna get this vehicle. Sounds like you'll get the vehicle for quite a steal there, definitely. Even if it's even more than this price here, you're still getting quite a good deal. It seems even at 30% off. But yeah. I mentioned how good your Acid Lab can be. It's a passive business, and you can make like, during this event, I think you can make upwards of like 700 to like 800,000, given it's a passive business, and you can make money through other ways while it produces. When you do other things with this, you can probably make like $1 to $2 million and stuff. At least, if you optimize pretty efficiently and whatnot, maybe even much more. That's a very good thing you can run on the side when doing other, like, good active money opportunities and whatnot. It's very damn good for money, so that alone makes it very good. It's one of the most armored vehicles in the game. Apparently it's like the second most armored vehicle in the game, aside for the MLC back from like the gun running DLC. That's apparently still the most armored, but in a sense this one's a lot more mobile than your MLC, even because you don't have like the big like trailer on it. Assuming you like don't detach it, obviously. If you detach it, I guess the MLC is a lot more mobile, but it's a very good secondary option though. This one I think has bullet-resistant glass on it, which the MSC does not, I don't think. This one at least gives you a little bit of bullet protection, like the 16, like pistol, assault rifle bullets and whatnot. Not much per se, but still something. And yes, that's for the business on the Brigade 6M6. The other main thing I would say that makes this much better than the MSC is the complimentary Mantis Scout C. Very damn good motorcycle, no doubt. Ruffy 152 has not properly tested the Brigade 6M6, and then the Mantis Scout C, he hasn't like performance tested those yet, but if this means like, but yeah. Mantis Scout from Cal Perico. But yeah. Mantis Scout from Cal Perico is actually a very damn good top speed vehicle already. Mantis Scout C, I assume C stands for custom. So if it's basically a better version of the Mantis Scout from Cal Perico, it's probably a very insane top speed motorcycle, no doubt. So you're getting two very good vehicles in one here, and that's absolutely insane. So yeah, definitely one of your most valuable vehicles in the game, I would say. And that takes care of all the discounts and the money opportunities and pretty much everything for the most part. To end off, I'll just do the time trials, I think, pretty much at this point. Not RC Bandito, but I'm going to do the regular and then HSW time trials. So I'll finish off with those and probably end the stream from there. But yeah, honestly, it's probably the worst fucking event week ever, no. Literally, the biggest thing they did was remove the Izzy rally, no. That was the biggest thing they did during this event week. But yeah, a couple big things they did was basically remove the Izzy rally, basically making it the worst event week in the history of this game, I would say, in like the 9, almost 10 years of the game now. And then apparently they have the crowbar at the gun van, so maybe at least you can buy the crowbar for me the first time ever. That's something, I guess, from what I've heard. Not sure that's true, but I think that's what I've heard now. But yeah, that's pretty much nothing though. That's definitely not barely at all, like, doesn't even make up for removing the whole vehicle now.
You need something, huh? One of your rides? Let me know. I'll bring it by.
probably just gonna do Stop Charleston in the stream though. This event week just got all disappointing now. It's literally, I would say, the worst event week in the history of the game. See, and it was mainly just removing something. And it's just event stuff. It's like they don't even want people on the game, apparently, at that point. Oh, fuck. No. Fuck, bro. God. Gotta move away from it then. Well, that one's not a very good first attempt. Maybe Overway would honestly be better than that for this one. That way sucks on the H. That way straight up sucks on the HSW Tundra, I believe, but on this regular one, since there's not that much distance, maybe the upper path would be better. I guess I'll try and okay. Forget that's shitty. Still quite a way to go at that point. I think it's already like 1 minute at that point. Probably better to go to the other way than against fucking. I don't know what I did much wrong there, though. Like, pretty much though. Per se, but yeah. Maybe it's gotta go faster somehow. So that was my first run, so it's a bit slower with it probably. Been like a long time, I would say. Motherfucker, again. Ow. First has to rain and everything. Really? How? Fucking rain, no. God damn it. Why in the rain for that shit? Oh shit, just barely. Couldn't really think of much of a way that was better in there per se. Yeah. But yeah. I kinda knew there was like much way I was gonna improve that per se. Besides, we're just going faster in those areas. And despite the rains, that was nice. Ah, I forgot to despawn the sparrow. God fucking damn it. That sucks. Whatever. Shorter stream anyways, because it's just a fucking event week. So, oh well. Fucking god, bullshit. Bullshit in that truck. Surprised my headlights don't get in there, to be honest. So trying to squeeze between those vehicles, of course there's two, like, a bad spot, of course. Oh shit. Wow, that's... Headlights still spinning, holy shit. Nah, Mendoza, fuck you. This is the most significant content you've had. That's literally the most significant content you've had since like 2014, and I was back in like 2018 now. There's kind of how you said Mark Mendoza, but of course it was mini Mendoza. They had to make a whole new fucking character for that shit for some reason. You couldn't just use actual Mark Mendoza, which would have been so much cooler, but yeah. Again, I guess it's kind of realistic for Mark Mendoza, but yeah. Yeah, I'll be doing my NTMT run for the terminal RCBND to control. That will be pretty fun. Looks like the rain went away, so that's good.
You calling for some wheels? I'm Johnny on the spot. I'll hook you up. I'll get there as soon as I can.
And yeah, for those wondering why I'm not using Entity Rally. I'm wondering about Spanish, yeah. For those wondering why I'm not doing Izzy Rally, that's because I want to finish all of the HSW controls of the NT before I start with the Rally. So once the first one starts back up again, then I'll be doing the Izzy Rally then. So yeah, still got time trials good for the NTMT or for the HSW ones, of course. Alright, yeah, that was the right spot, but yeah. As you can see, the GPS probably wants to go into that fucking area again. But yeah. On that previous time trial, I was literally on that area a little bit. You can already fucking tell from my previous gameplay how ass that area is. He wants to go into the countryside and like the desert and stuff. Literally, just mark a little to the left, and then you can literally just a little left from it to more like west from it there, and then you get a much better destination. So yeah, I was correct from what I remember. If you do the GPS wrong with yellow, it's not a good route, so keep that in mind. Not saying it's impossible per se, but it's just a lot more frustrating. I would prefer the highway one. Plus, you get to take more advantage of your HSW top speed on this alternate route, anyways. So why not? Maybe they did a little poorly there. I don't remember, but yeah. This one's pretty lenient though, if I recall right now. So this one's too difficult now with the alternate route. With the alternate route, then yeah, it's pretty easy as far as I recall. As long as you don't make a huge mistake. A little mistake like I might have made there might not hurt too much. Damn it, ow. Yeah, I could do that little stun jump. I think it's a tiny bit of a time save. I don't know if it's too much of a time save, but yeah. It's pretty good strat now, kind of. Oh my god, are you serious? I don't know why this one's going so asinine now, but which cars are just not that bad now. I think to jump there and get on it quicker if it over the street. I don't think it's too I don't think it's too bad ending per se. But not later though, yes, but yeah. Holy shit, that was ridiculously close. Move! Come on! The fuck? That's not cool. How is the vehicle just gonna show up purposeful worst time there? Fucking such a coincidence. Such bullshit coincidence. I swear with this fucking game sometimes. Thankfully this one's a very good top speed for the Super HSWs though. I think it's the only behind like the State 8 for the Super HSWs. Wow, holy shit, I might actually do Spying the oops from earlier. Like I said, it's a pretty lenient one if you do the alternate round ended here. Might have to do it again though. I don't fucking know at this point. Nope, I did it first try, yes. Holy shit, a few seconds away from failing though. So even with a whole like flip pitch, I still managed it. Probably my craziest run on that Tundra, I want to be honest. Almost didn't think it was gonna happen, to be honest. Hold on to like slimmer of hope now. At least. But wow, I was holding my first run. I didn't have to do a second attempt again. Honestly, I think that's definitely one of the easiest ones when you do the alternate route of all the 7, 8, like HSW town trials, definitely, you know. Oh, it's already in the bank, okay, I guess I automatically put it in the bank, or unless I already did that, I forget. I already did that, I just forgot somehow. But yeah, what are you doing? If I have to rate this fucking event week, it's literally the worst one in the history of the game. Let me give it a semi-realistic rating of -10 out of 10. But nah, that is some good stuff though, like... Acid Lab Stables 1.5 times is definitely pretty good. Yeah, the Acid Lab Stable, and then... Duplicate 6x6 discount. Honestly, those are really the only good things. I'll give it a -8 out of 10. Almost a whole -10 out of 10 now. What are you doing? Do you think it's the worst event week ever? No. I don't know that part, no. I'm not doing that. Fuck mention. It's just one of as many ways they artificially inflate the drip feed anymore. But no, I do kind of like the free-mid event stuff though. It does make the game more dynamic and stuff though. I feel they're overdoing it anymore with the Chrono Enterprise and then just the Rug War DLC from what I saw from some of the drip feed stuff coming out. I covered on the leak video. There's actually a bunch of free-mid stuff that will be coming out for this one too. But yeah, that's kind of my basically review there. And yeah, I guess if I count the crowbar, actually, I will drop it down to -7 out of 10 for the review of the event week. Definitely worst one so far. Probably only like event week I would give a negative review on, to be honest. But yeah, Reddit actually is a better event right now. Literally, Reddit on, I would say probably is a better event right now. I sure it's been the hell of the same shit over and over, but I should know. At least they had more effort if people put in this event. Besides for the couple good things I mentioned. Like the only two pretty good things. Yeah, right, I know it's a better event for at least this 1 week. Okay, now that's finally gonna be it for the stream. I hope you enjoyed.